Oh my god, Eli, you're in the same shirt you were in last time when you were here in this very spot doing this thing. Well, I got more than one black shirt. And by God, the evidence is right there if need be. Now, to the meat and potatoes. I'm sure many people are sick and tired of hearing everything being referred to as meat and potatoes, but hey, in the world of podcasting and the years I've been doing it, that's what me and the co-host Josh have been referring to when it comes to the main portion of whatever we're going to discuss. Now, Krupp, what's up, man? I need you here because I really need your advice. There was something this morning that I said, and I had no idea how serious I was until time passed, and I kind of marinated on this very idea, and the idea went from just being that to me speaking it into the ether. I shared my idea with Josh, the co-host of Stuck in the Middle, and we have ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, a very public stunt that is going to test YouTube in a very big way. And I want to ask those of you here, yo, what's up, Harry Mang? Good to see you, man. God bless. All right, Krupp, you ready for this one, cuz? This is some real shit. Shamrock, God bless you. Here we go. All right, first, a little context before I deliver the goods. All right, and remember, and we're talking about, Josh and I are talking about doing a show on Saturday, which I think is, what is it? Is that Thanksgiving? Um, what we've talked about is doing something that I believe is very patriotic. There's some other added layers that him and I need to continue this discussion, but here's the flashback to this morning's conversation. Asmongold has been covering some stuff, and I checked his channel out. There are two Patriots right now. They went to Davenport, Michigan. Are you guys next Thursday? Sorry. So I don't know. Saturday, he mentioned Saturday, which is after. I have no idea. I know I work on Black Friday, but regardless, okay. The show that we're referring to is Saturday. I guess he made that synonymous with Thanksgiving being around the corner. No idea, but let me get to exactly what I'm going to say without putting my foot in my mouth any further. So in Davenport, Michigan, are any of you familiar with what's going on over there? We can't confirm or deny, but we're raising your interest rates. Sounds typical. So there's two Patriots. They went to this part of Michigan that is completely overrun by Islam. Americans, Muslims in general. I need to be very transparent that I have a bias, my own personal bias, which needs to be challenged, just like I will defend, it's not that I defend Israel, I defend Jewish Americans. And if I'm going to defend Jewish Americans, I need to defend Muslim Americans. And I do that only for, like, the Jewish Americans, if they're not completely like 100% Zionism and they put Israel first, right? Like a Ben Shapiro. So there's where I take issue. I hope this comes out very balanced, and this is going somewhere. All right, we are putting our channel at huge risk, and our lives are going to be at risk if we do this stunt, which it sounds like we are. Now, Islam, of course. I think it's pretty cut and dry. Any Muslim individuals that support Sharia law and want to see that happen right here on our own soil, that's the branch of Islam that I take a personal beef with. So, all that to say this, there are two individuals. They've showcased how much that Islam is infiltrating. I love when I see them, call out any of the more radical elements, and they try to say, oh, what isn't it disingenuous when they say, don't be racist, we don't welcome racism, when they're only saying that when two white boys go there and want to raise the American flag, and they went there to smack bacon on the Quran. Now, is that stupid? I don't know, you decide. Or is that literally freedom of speech? And a little bit more context before I get to the fucking main point. I'll stop edging. Do we not already see Christians take it on the chin every day through mainstream media, Family Guy, The Simpsons, every South Park? Like, literally, look at what they do with Trump, J.D. Vance. Christianity is the butt of every joke, and I think Christians do pretty well to take that on the chin. All right? I think Josh has a point that he should make to those of you that think otherwise, but I'll leave that for them. Every religion seems to take it on the chin pretty well. Hell, even Judaism and, all the rest. Scientology, they're pretty shitty about it. Now, Islam, Charlie Hebdo, all the other people that have gone and tried to criticize Islam publicly, what do we see that typically happens to them? And it gets swept, right? I don't know how I feel with President Trump and defending the Saudi prince when he was asked about the journalist that was completely chopped up. He was the journalist, right? So anyway, here it is. Here's the stunt, all right? Sorry, uncalled for and freedom of speech. Well, here's what I got. Allah means God, and they respect Jesus Christ. Yeah, Mossad agency. I'm gonna just from my own anecdotal life experiences, I have some disagreements with your respect as you say it. So I proposed to Josh on Stuck in the Middle on Saturday, guys, that I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna overnight purchase through Amazon a real Quran. I'm gonna buy a Quran. I'm going to do an advertisement from the Stuck in the Middle page in the form of a short, maybe even a brief live. We might, or I might, create a poll and asking people if they would support this, basically just by showing up. I propose the question, is this free speech? And is this a terms of service violation? There's no shortage of finding YouTube videos of people burning the American flag or defaming any other religious text doctrine. So the stunt is simply I buy the Quran, I grab bacon, take it out of the package, and I smother it all over the motherfucking Quran. Yep, that's right. I said it. Let it settle. I'm aware of the optics. I'm aware of how unsettling, provoking, or dangerous, or stupid this could all be. But I do believe in the Constitution. I believe in the right to offend. And simply offending people should not make one concerned about their physical being or their mortality. Frankly, if you are concerned about your own mortality, your very freedom to speak, because you want to do something, frankly, insulting, for lack of a better term, to a religion, I think therein lies the problem. I'd say if you're that offended by somebody talking about your faith and or religion, and you don't have enough faith that backs it up, then you're not walking that walk. Go on somewhere. So that's the idea. Metaphorically or literally chopped up? Oh, there's no metaphor about it. What's up, Wolverine? Whoa, we got... Nope, not a badass. Not a badass. Don't be fooled by the tats or the shirt. And I'm being very serious about this. I want to see if YouTube would send us a notice, a warning, a strike, or complete channel deletion. And my proposal, my question is, why can we see every single religion disrespected on this platform? Why can we see our own American flag burned and stomped on this platform? But when it comes to this now, specifically, all of a sudden, now you're all coming out in force. Therein lies the experiment. So what do you think? What do you think? I proposed this might go viral, and you need to be prepared to deal with all the things. Yeah. Let's not forget, I'm very close with a Muslim family. They gave me work. They paid like shit. They gave me work for a number of years. I've had, Muslim friends that 2 out of 3 of them told me that they would end my life if there was a jihad. Only one of them told me that they couldn't. I didn't even think of the virility of this. I'm not doing this as a Jew. I'm not a fucking Jew. People are getting confused that I take up this fight and I feel like I have skin in the game because I was raised by people in my family that just so happened to be Jews but not practicing Jews. I never was taken to a synagogue. At most, I was in a fucking Jewish neighborhood or something. I broke bread with them. I never spun a dreidel. I never wore the hat. I was not born of a Jewish mother. My grandma, who was like a second mother to me, was Jewish but never practiced the religion in front of me or anything like that. But by all accounts, she was a Jewish woman. And in her honor, that's why I defend Jewish Americans. Never once in my entire life till she died. Rest in peace. I miss her dearly every day. I think I was like 32 years old, maybe something like that, 28 to 32. And, just when somebody dedicates their life to showing you love, it stays with you. And so anytime I see people saying things about the Holocaust or telling me that the Jewish people don't deserve to be here, yeah, I take offense, not because I'm Jewish. I'm not fucking Jewish. I'm not in their tribe. They're just Jewish family in my family. But by all technical accounts, I'm not a Jewish man. I am not Hebrew. I'm not Israeli. I am not Jewish. I'm a Christian that was an atheist, that was a Christian before that messed with Buddhism and other ideologies, and I'm back to Christianity. So the as a Jew comment doesn't apply to me, and I have no fear with the optic. If anybody out there wants to utilize that against me, well, they're going to prove my point then. That it's less okay for somebody that has any sense or any scent of a Jewish lineage that can be traced. And as a Jew, don't do it. No. If anything, God bless you, Mossad agent, but you've just made me want to do this even more. Because of people really getting confused or being ignorant. I was loved by people that were Jewish, and I haven't forgotten that. And what does it matter that my father is technically Jewish, but he believes he's not a Jew for Jesus either. He's a Christian man. But if you want to go by the blood, Jewish. I guess same with my two uncles, all practicing Christians, but Jewish blood. So, for that sentiment, let me see some of the comments here. I don't think it's a good idea, but I support your right to do it. Wolverine spins the dreidel, lights the Shabbat candles. Let me see what... Man, it doesn't have to be some who is that offended, just someone who is hyped up enough or cloutly blinded for them to do something. Yeah, you ain't kidding. It's not lost on me. This is why the discussion I had with Josh went from just doing this. I had some ideas like, let's make a poll. Let's, I don't want to share the ideas he shared because his, believe it or not, it's not only regarding Islam. He wanted to do something that was what he believes is more fair. Basically, he's prepared to challenge and or offend everybody's religion, and I kind of, to the best of my ability, planted my feet on the ground and said, no. Like, everybody else gets their just desserts every day. It's Islam that seems to act out in violence and get a pass every time. So, with that, we decided to have this very discussion live on Stuck in the Middle this Saturday, and it's gonna, the audience engagement and commentary will help determine if I go through with this or if I do not. Of course, we have the other topics, the Epstein files, madness. And the person that I was talking about earlier this morning that, had some criticisms because he didn't like that we even talked about the Epstein files because it makes him uncomfortable because of his support with Trump. Even though, as I continue to say, things look pretty damn good for Trump if you just listen to every victim that has brought their voice to the public. And even Virginia Giuffre's own biography and words. Nobody said he was present there flirting. All of them said he was a gentleman, but yeah, his name was mentioned, and Epstein, the Antichrist piece of shit that Epstein was, called Trump a piece of shit. So, I don't know, man. The liberals really are going off the handles with somehow saying, yeah, you know what, but he was still mentioned there. Nuance, I guess. But yeah, the dude that I was calling out, he was there in that live stream. Let's see, the consultant. Let me see. All that matters. Harry, man, hold on. All right. As a Christian, ever called you a devil worshiper when you claim to be an atheist? Yeah. Yeah, Harry. But I would say it would be the more radical Christians, you know? Overall, the typical Christian from my many years as an atheist, and I used the platform Stuck in the Middle to talk about my atheism a lot. They would fall into one of two categories. They'd want to convert me or understand me, and they tried to find something that would explain it all to make it rational to them, or they'd essentially call me like a devil worshiper or something, or blasphemer or heretic, something like that, which I guess is kind of maybe code for condemning me. I mean, somebody that I grew up with from middle school to fucking present day outright called me a fucking heretic that I'd burn in hell. But it wasn't something that happened a lot. It wasn't something that happened a lot. I'd say the Christian people are the ones I've been able to have the most discussions with, but there were quite a few, not a lot, but quite a few that got too triggered at some point. And there was some points I made that they could not answer. I could go into that shit, you know, and it's challenging to have all of those, all the books I've read, you know, Charles Darwin, Charles Hawkins, Sam Harris, like reading all that material and it's still being in here. It's sometimes challenging, but it hasn't made it harder to pray. I truly have surrendered a piece of myself, the soul, if you will. Something has changed in me, spiritually, if you will, to where I'm comfortable speaking to God again and praying, because it feels good to pray, especially when, like, my eyes tear up, you know, and I really pour it in there. But I guess I'm going on a tangent here. But I guess fair point, Harry, man. Let's see. Be prepared mentally. There is going to be there would be an immense backlash, but that's what it's all about. This is all about public discourse to me. We don't have, like, what is it? You know, what is it? The square, like public square, where we could all just go and have that singular debate there. No, we have social media. This is not for virility, but this is for literally putting YouTube to the test and testing our constitutional rights. All that matters is what's in your heart. Don't even know what you're deliberating on. Are you considering circumcision? Was that a big decision? I was an infant, Broham, so not too much deliberation there. And as I think I've covered all the deliberating regarding this, I'm pretty damn prepared to just do this activity, but I think it's wise to have the discussion on the show. I'm opposed to anyone taking anyone's holy book and defacing it. Please pray on this. Good advice. Very good advice. I just get outraged. I mean, right now it's happening. Right now, in this very second, there's 2 Christians that are marching in Michigan in a predominantly Muslim neighborhood, and they are being assaulted before they even did the act. They're being assaulted for saying what they wish to say about, you know, Muhammad being a you-know-what. It's in the Quran. Do I even need to say it? I don't. Why should I even have this reluctance? I shouldn't. In the Quran, Muhammad is a PDF. Period. What was the age of the girl he married again? 12 or younger? In the Quran, just like there's crazy shit in the Talmud, in the Quran it talks about, the younger they are and the more pure it's fucking grotesque. That makes me again even more vindicated in wanting to throw this challenge up at them. Actions. Mr. President, I might need your advice. Wolverines, I'm Jewish and I'm pro-Israel. God bless you, brother. It is not an easy time for anybody like that. Sometimes I feel myself wanting to correct people. I'm pro, let Israel exist. I'm not pro aggressive expansion, I'm not pro Netanyahu. I think we could use new leadership there, but on the grand scheme, I am so ill-informed. But I'm cool with everyone else's religion as long as their religion doesn't call on unaliving my family. I see the most. I have to be looking through a biased lens. I just can't help but feel like the most savagery comes from the Middle East, and I know that sounds so general. So I'll try to narrow it down to fringe radical Islamists or Muslims, Hamas, whatever. The people that want Sharia law, when they say that, and they refer to us as kafirs, okay? See, growing up within the Jewish family, I never heard them say goy or goyim or any of that shit. So, and I was there as a child all the way up until, like the age of 25 or something. I never heard any, coded talk, or I never saw any exorbitant money. Nobody was living well. Everybody was struggling to get by, helping each other to the best of our ability. And we were all made up of Catholics, Jews, Christians, agnosticism. Mike Guyver, are you down for this little experiment? What's up, Pipples? I understand your point and agree with you. Burning our flag is equivalent to what I want to do. Yeah, just a little bacon. I like bacon. It's a statement for bacon. Bacon in the morning, bacon in the... You should be allowed to peacefully burn. Yeah, Josh and I had specifically talked about not burning anything on YouTube. So, me with the bacon and the book, I'm really close to just, we have to have the discussion on the live show. I hope you're all there to help persuade which way this is going to go. I think we're going to have an active poll that's on throughout the entire episode. And that poll will decide if the end of that episode occurs with everything I've described. And I'm prepared. I say that, it's famous last words, right? Knock on wood. But I feel prepared. Spiritually, psychologically, I feel like I don't know, in a twisted way, I feel like it's fair game. Like it's in a freedom sense, an American sense, it's the fair, right thing to do. We should not be living in fear or intimidation. They should be facing the same criticisms and jokes or whatever that every other religion does without shedding blood. So I don't think I'm asking a lot here. Are you going to do that based on what the poll says? I don't know. Stuck is gonna be... Josh and I have been struggling, just making a living. Everything's good. We work hard. But this Saturday, we're gonna be on. And this is where, Shep, you're in for a treat. If you haven't seen this entire live, I might be doing quite a stunt. I don't want to, cheapen it by calling it a stunt, because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe I'm exercising every right that our Constitution exists for. I believe I'm exercising every right in terms of fair play, because every religion takes it on the chin. Every single one except for motherfucking Islam. And there it is. It's as simple as that. It's black and white to me. I don't want to feel like I'm too afraid to do this. I've spent too many years on this fucking planet, on this rock, accomplishing the things I've accomplished, failing at the things I've failed at, going through things that terrified me, the times I thought I was going to die, ODing, seeing going to the amount of funerals I did, all of the misery, everything we've ever been through. I'm not going to let any person or group of people put that intimidation on my soul. So this is, for me, an act of liberation and freedom. It is my constitutional right. So I turn to all of you. I agree that any religion should face criticism. I'm just getting here, really. Dang, I was hoping to celebrate my 10-year oh shit, with all the mother suckers tonight. Well, keep at it, brother. Saturday is the evening, and we're gonna see if I do something. The intention is not for virility. It is not for anything. It's just something that got planted in my head, inspired by someone else that was doing it, and I watched him get assaulted by a little bitch. Punched him, sucker punched him, and then he got attacked again. And it's just, it's always this group. It's always, no, you're crossing a line. I mean, I'll insult your prophets, your apostles, your Messiah, your God, but don't you talk about Muhammad. Don't you talk about the Quran. No, fuck that. So, food for thought. Let's see how this goes, alright? Saturday night. It's a deal. Be there for the discussion. Be there for the poll. Hell, I have no real aspirations for this channel of mine where I vlog and I put all my thoughts here bare, and I appreciate the dialogue, the engagement. I appreciate all of you. Share this, or ask the question, or, just help me get a feel for what people think about this possibly stupid idea. I don't feel it's stupid, but I'm sure others will. Or just wait for the promo that I do on Stuck in the Middle. And trust me, y'all be the first to know. I'm going to have a cigarette. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Constitution. God bless the United States. God bless us as we all wait as patiently as we could with the whole Epstein mess, and let truth prevail and give some sort of levity to our souls, because you judge a society and a civilization based on how they treat their children. And so this Epstein case, this mess, if we are slung anything short of the truth and not the names, that fucking Democrat that he ducked and run, fucking absolved himself. He resigned, and he's getting a little bit of a pension for piece of shit. What did he just show? His cards are that he knows everything that's coming out is gonna make him look super bad, and oh man, so many things are messed up sometimes that it only makes sense to try to add your little bit of madness that you've already made as logical as you can in our own twisted brains. So that's where it makes sense to me to throw some bacon on the Quran. Alright. I guess amen. Lord, protect us, protect our families, and God bless America. Wait, we got a new comment. What's up there, James? Also, if there is an entity that created everything, they wouldn't take human form and write 10 plus books. That causes division. You sound like me when I was an atheist. James, I hope you reach out to progressivepatriot44@gmail.com. Please email me. I would love to talk to more people that thought in the way that I was most comfortable with. I don't feel like I'm completely in my comfort zone, except when I pray. Then I feel something. Alright, that's it, guys.